Hello everyone and welcome back to our videos. Today I will talk about the cabin atmosphere, AIRFRAME book chapter 14. And before we start, we have to think why we are gonna to study cabin atmosphere control and what the purpose of the cabin atmosphere control. The purpose of the cabin atmosphere control to increase the comfort of the occupant or even to sustain their lives, to provide a livable atmosphere for the aircraft occupants. Flight physiology. The atmosphere envelopes the Earth for more than 20 miles. Also, the atmosphere is a mixture of gases. Nitrogen and its 78%, oxygen and its 21%, and other gases and they are 1%. Oxygen is extremely important for human, animal and plant lives. The density of air refers to the number of air molecules within a given volume of the atmosphere, and we studied this on the general chapter 2 on the physics. And as air pressure decreases, the density of the air also decreases, which are the same as 14.69 pounds per square inch at sea level. And we see in this figure, as the height increases, we will say the pressure will decreases, also the temperature will decreases. Human respiration and circulation. When people inhale or take in air, the lungs expand and the atmospheric pressure forces air in to fill them. This air fills millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli, and the oxygen in the air diffuses through the extremely thin membrane walls of these sacs into blood vessels, and they called arteries. Hypoxia. Anytime the body is deprived of the required amount of oxygen, it will develop hypoxia. And this happened with human when the aircraft raised more than 10,000 feet. Time of useful conscience is defined as the time a person has to take corrective action before becoming so severely impaired that they cannot help themselves. When the brain is deprived of the needed oxygen, the first thing people lose is their judgment. Two of the more common first indications of hypoxia are increased breathing rate, headache. Some other signs of hypoxia are lightheadedness, dizziness with a tingling in the fingers, fusion environment, and sleepiness. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is the product of incomplete combustion of fuels, which contain carbon and is found in varying amounts in the smoke and fumes from burning aviation fuel and lubricants. Carbon monoxide characteristics are colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Accumulated. When the carbon monoxide accumulated, what it will make on the human body. Carbon monoxide combines with the hemoglobin in the blood. Hemoglobin that carries oxygen from the lungs to the various organs of the body. Since hemoglobin has a far greater attraction for carbon monoxide than it has for oxygen, it will load up with carbon monoxide until it cannot carry the much needed oxygen. The decrease in pressure as the altitude increases makes it more difficult to get the proper amount of oxygen. Small angle engine airplanes are heated with exhaust type heaters, in which the cabin ventilating air passes between a sheet metal shroud and the engine exhaust pipe or muffler. If a crack or even a pinhole size leak should exist in any of the exhaust components, carbon monoxide can enter the cabin. This the shroud and this the muffler. The shroud, it will cover our muffler, and the air for heating, it will move between the shroud and the muffler. If the muffler has a pinhole or a crack, the carbon monoxide will mix with the air and will enter the cabin. When it enters the cabin, it will accumulate on the hemoglobin, as we talked before, in the hemoglobin of the blood, and it will prevent the oxygen to enter the hemoglobin with the blood. What are the symptoms of carbon monoxide? Early symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning is sluggishness and a feeling of being too warm, and the last one, a tight feeling across a forehead. To prevent the carbon monoxide enter the cabin, we have an indication or alarming that alarm the pilot if there is carbon monoxide on the cabin or the cockpit of the aircraft. Carbon monoxide detectors are available in the instrument panel. If there is any indication of carbon monoxide in the cabin, every part of the exhaust system should be checked to find and repair the leak before the aircraft is returned to surface. As we see together, this our detector. If this colored or this square change to gray, that has an indication that for the pilot there is carbon monoxide on the cockpit or the cabin.